भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, fifth chapter, the cause of all causes, text number 11 onwards. Creation question. So as we discussed yesterday, there are three conversations going on. Brahmaji is now speaking with Narad Muni. Shukdev Goswami is saying, okay, this is what the conversation between Narad Muni and Brahmaji happened. And Sut Goswami is telling Shaunakashi that this is how Shukdev Goswami explained when he was speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Yena svarochisha vishvam rochitam rochayamyaham yatharkvagniritha sono yat araksha grihatarkaha. I create after the Lord's creation by his personal effulgence. As the Brahma and the sun, natural planets, and the stars also manifest their brightness. So Brahmaji is clearly saying here, I create after the Lord's creation by his personal effulgence. So Brahmaji is not the primary creator. Very proudly and very confidently, if we ask any Hindu in India, and who does what? Oh, Brahmaji creates, Vishnuji maintains, Shivji destroys. And in any given universe. But they don't know. Krishna has already done the creation. And Brahmaji is the secondary creator. And himself is explaining here. There's no doubt about it. But people, they just don't want to read properly from proper sources. And they just read here and there and they make up their minds. And Brahmaji is explaining, just like when the sun manifests its fire, only then the moon, the firmament, the influential planets, and the twinkling stars also manifest their brightness. So the source is sun, not all these different planets. Lord Brahmaji said to Narad that his impression that Brahma was not the supreme authority in the creation was correct. Sometimes less intelligent men have the foolish impression that Brahma is the cause of all causes. But Narad wanted to clear the matter by the statements of Brahmaji, the supreme authority in the universe. As the decision of the Supreme Court of his state is final, similarly the judgment of Brahmaji, the supreme authority in the universe, is final in the Vedic process of acquiring knowledge. As we have already affirmed in the previous verse, Naradji was a liberated soul. Therefore, he was not one of the less intelligent men who accept a false god or gods in their own ways. He represented himself as less intelligent and yet intelligently presented a doubt to be cleared by the supreme authority so that the uninformed might take note of it and be rightly informed about the intricacies of the creation and the creator. So Naradji, he took the role of a person who doesn't know anything, and that's how he's asking the questions. In fact, that is the right way to approach a bona fide person to get the knowledge, because if we approach a person with showing that I know so much and still I want to know, that doesn't give us a humble attitude. So this humility is very important. In this verse, Brahmaji clears up the wrong impression held by the less intelligent and affirms that he creates the universal variegatedness after the potential creation by the glaring effulgence of Lord Shri Krishna. Brahmaji has also separately given this statement in the Samhita known as Brahma Samhita. where he says, I serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental bodily effulgence, known as the Brahm Jyoti, which is unlimited, unfathomed, and all pervasive, is a cause of the creation of unlimited number of planets, etc., with varieties of climates and specific conditions of life. The same statement is in Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna is the background of the Brahm Jyoti, Brahmano hi pratistham aham. In the Nirukti or Vedic dictionary, the import of pratishtha is mentioned as that which establishes. So the Brahm Jyoti is not independent or self-sufficient. Lord Krishna is ultimately the creator of the Brahm Jyoti, mentioned in this verse as Swarochisha, or effulgence of the transcendental body of the Lord. So Brahm Jyoti is all-pervading and all creation is made possible by its potential power. Therefore, the Vedic hymns declare that everything that exists is being sustained by the Brahm Jyoti. Sarvam khalo idam Brahma. Therefore, the potential seed of all creation is a Brahm Jyoti. And the same Brahm Jyoti, unlimited and unfathomed, is established by the Lord. So this is the source of creation. Actually, Krishna creates Brahm Jyoti, or Brahm Jyoti is the effulgence of the body of Krishna. And from Brahm Jyoti, all these ingredients of the universe come about. I mean, it's all there uh, as Mahat Tattva on one corner of Brahm Jyoti. And when Vishnuji exhales, all the universes come out of his body, and the creation within the universe is made possible by this Mahat Tattva. And after the creation of material elements within the universe, then Vishnuji, from Mahavishnu's body, all the souls, they come, all the jivas which are lying in his body. So all the material elements are provided by Brahm Jyoti. They are just put together by Brahmaji in different species, 8,400,000 species, different planets. This is what Brahmaji does by the material elements provided to him by Brahm Jyoti. So this is how the creation takes place. Of course, it's very complicated. Later on, we will read more about it. But this is in a nutshell. So Brahmaji does not create the material elements. Brahmaji does not create Brahm Jyoti. Brahmaji also does not do the primary creation. The creation is already done by Krishna. As I have explained, all the creation, the prototype of the creation is kept within the stem of the lotus flower. So Brahmaji learns from that and then he does the creation outside. One should not expect the Lord to create like a blacksmith with a hammer and other instruments. The Lord creates by his potencies. He has his multifarious potencies. Just as the small seed of a banyan fruit has a potency to create a big banyan tree, the Lord disseminates all varieties of seeds by his potential Brahma Jyoti, and the seeds are made to develop by the watering process of persons like Brahma. Brahma cannot create the seeds, but he can manifest the seed into a tree, just as a gardener helps plants and orchards grow by the watering process. The example cited here of sun is very appropriate. In the material world, the sun is a cause of all illumination. Fire, electricity, the rays of the moon, etc. All luminaries in the sky are creations of the sun. The sun is a creation of Brahm Jyoti, and Brahm Jyoti is a effulgence of the Lord. Thus, ultimate cause of creation is the Lord. So everything comes from Krishna. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya Chaham Riddhisani. No, I'm sorry. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. He says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo. Prabhavo means creation or source. Everything comes from me, Sarvasya, everything, material or spiritual, everything comes from Krishna. So he is the source, he is the origin of everything. Of course, those who don't have faith, they cannot understand this. How Krishna is origin of everything. Krishna, for them, and of course, rightly so also, Krishna is the little boy of Nanda Baba and Yashoda Maya. He was, he took birth from Vasudeva and Devaki. How can he is the source of everything? Vasudeva and Devaki are source of Krishna, but they don't understand. When Krishna appears, how Krishna appears. So Krishna does not appear just like we appear from the womb of our mother. He does not appear like that. Or he does not take birth, he appears. He doesn't take birth. So that's why, first of all, we have to understand his potencies, his process of appearance very philosophically. Otherwise, we'll make mistake about his position. Text number 12. So now Brahmaji is praying to Krishna. See, before that, Shukdev Goswami spent so many verses praying to Krishna to give him the intelligence to speak properly about Krishna. Now Brahmaji started to praying to Krishna. Tasmai namo bhagavate vasudevaya dhimahi yan mayaya durjaya mam vadanti jagat guru. I offer my obeisances and meditate upon Lord Krishna, Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead, whose invincible potency influences them, the less intelligent class of men, to call me Supreme Controller. As will be more clearly explained in the next verse, the illusory potency of the Lord bewilders the less intelligent to accept Brahmaji, or for that matter, any other person as a Supreme Lord. Brahmaji, however, refuses to be called this, and he directly offers his respectful obeisances unto Lord Vasudeva or Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, as he has already offered the same respects to him in the Brahm Samhita. In Brahm Samhita, Brahmaji calls Krishna Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakaran Karana. And this Brahm Samhita, Brahmaji prepared or composed in the beginning of creation, actually. And just to let you know, so that we all have a desire to go to Jagannath Puri again and see the deities nicely with the right mood, that there is this beautiful deity of Tota Gopinath in Jagannath Puri. It is said that this was the first deity in the whole universe, and that was the deity prepared by Brahmaji, and looking at that deity, he wrote Brahm Samhita. Looking at the beauty of that deity, he wrote Brahm Samhita. So next time when you all go to Jagannath Puri, so please visit that beautiful temple of Tota Gopinath and see that deity. It's very beautiful deity, and so merciful that deity that Gadadhar Pandit used to be there to serve that deity when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was residing in Jagannath Puri. And after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu unmanifested his pastimes, so Gadadhar Pandit, in separation from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became very old, very fast. So old that it was difficult for him to even get up, because this Tota Gopinath deity was pretty tall. So it was difficult for him to get up and do all the worship, dressing of the deity. So he requested the deity, please do something. And that the deity of Tota Gopinath, next day he sat down. So he is in Padma Asana. He's sitting down in Padma Asana. That's the only deity that is sitting down, Krishna. So Gadadhar Pandit, so the idea was so he could accept the service from Gadadhar Pandit. So in the morning when they dress the deities, they let us also take darshan of Total Gopinath sitting down. Means the Padmasan pose, the legs of his the deity. They let us take darshan. Otherwise, the whole day the legs are covered with the dhoti. We cannot take darshan. So, okay, coming back to Brahma Samhita. So Brahmaji is saying it is Krishna only who does everything. The Supreme Lord is a personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, the primeval Lord in his transcendental body, the ultimate cause of all causes. I worship that primeval Lord, Govinda. Brahmaji is conscious of his actual position. He knows how less intelligent persons, bewildered by the illusory energy of the Lord, whimsically accept anyone and everyone as God. A responsible personality like Brahmaji refuses to be addressed as a supreme Lord by his disciples or subordinates, but foolish persons, praised by men of the nature of dogs, hogs, camels, and asses, feel flattered. So this shloka we read, Shobit Vara Oshtra Khara Purusha Sansita Pashu, Na Yat Karna Patho Petu Jatu Nam Gata Graja. So we discussed the qualities of dogs and hogs and camels and asses. And the people who are of that quality and they like to be praised by the people who are like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. And this is all the whole material world is going on like that. One person praises the other person praises the third one praises the fourth one, and they think by doing like that we'll get some material benefits and we can live happily ever after. But that never happens. Why such persons take pleasure in being addressed as God, or why such persons are addressed as God by foolish admirers is explained in the following verse. But people do like to be praised, not exactly as God, but they like to be praised like, oh, you're the controller, you're the supreme, for us you are everything. People like that. It just boosts their ego, satisfies their ego. But this is not the right way. The first creator, the first person of the whole universe, who's a father of everybody, he himself is saying, I'm not the God, I'm not God. It's all Krishna who gives me the intelligence by which I could do anything. Text 13. Vilanjamanya yasya sthatum ikshapatve amuya vimohita vikathante mamaham iti durdhiyaha. The illusory energy of the Lord cannot take precedence, being ashamed of her position. But those who are bewildered by her always talk nonsense, being absorbed in the thoughts of its I and its mine. So means Maya, Brahma is saying Maya cannot take precedence. She's ashamed of her position, ashamed of her position of being she has a service of keeping conditioned souls in the material world. The invincibly powerful, deluding energy of the personality of Godhead, or the third energy representing essence, can bewilder the entire world of animation, but she is not strong enough to be able to stand in front of the Supreme Lord. Nescience is behind the personality of God, where she is powerful enough to mislead the living beings, and the primary symptoms of bewildered persons is that they talk nonsense. So this Maya cannot cover Krishna. And it is said that Maya does not, this Mahamaya, does not even stand in front of Krishna. Because by Krishna's merciful glance, she cannot retain her position. So she's always standing behind Krishna. And the people and the jivas who are not facing Krishna, or who are not aware of Krishna, who are not aware of their own position, their relationship with Krishna, they are basically considered. And what happens is, then they uh, then they get misled by this Maya, and they talk nonsense. Nonsense means, which actually, I mean, grammatically, it means that doesn't make sense. And which doesn't make sense is they talk as it's I and it's mine. Means this body, I am this body. And everything related to, pertaining to this body is mine. So all we talk about is I, me, and mine, which is all nonsense talk because of Maya. Because we are not this body to begin with. So anything that we talk about in relationship with this body is doesn't make sense. That's what it's called, nonsense. A godless civilization is exclusively conducted by such false ideas. And such persons, without any factual realization of God, accept a false God who falsely declare themselves to be God, to mislead persons who are already bewildered by the deluding energy. So this is what they are: leaders who are in Maya, who talk nonsense, and they delude or cheat or bewilder others who are already in Maya. Those who are before the Lord, however, who surrender unto Him, cannot be influenced by the deluding energy. Therefore, they are free from the conceptions of its I and its mine. And therefore, they do not accept a false God or post themselves as equal to the Supreme Lord. Identification of the bewildered person is distinctly given this verse. So those who are devoted, those who are surrendered, they are standing right in front of Krishna, looking at the lotus face of Krishna or serving Krishna. They cannot be bewildered by Maya. But for people like us who are struggling to be in front of Krishna, and mostly we are behind Krishna. So Maya has captured us, but we are trying to stay away from the grips of Maya. We're trying to come to the front of Krishna, to the front part of Krishna. So we are praying to Krishna, please, please remove you this Mayic influence from us. So how strongly we pray, how sincerely we pray, how determined we are in our prayers, and um, how true we are in our prayers, Krishna will help accordingly. Are we really sincere? Oh, Krishna, take away this Maya, but leave some money for me, but leave my relatives, leave my everything else, but take away Maya. No, it doesn't work like that. Text number 14. Dravyam karma cha kalascha svabhavo jivev cha vasudevad paro brahman achanya arthvasti tattvataha. The five elementary ingredients of creation, the interaction thereof set upon by eternal time, and the intuition and nature of the individual living beings are all differentiated parts and parcels of the personality of God Vasudeva. And in truth, there is no other value in them. So everything is differentiated part and parcels of Krishna. This phenomenal world is impersonally the representation of Vasudeva because the ingredients of its creation, their interaction, and the enjoyer of the resultant action, the living being, are all produced by the external and internal energies of Lord Krishna. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, where he says, all this earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego, they are my eight separated energies. And afterwards he says, this jiva, which are trying to enjoy this material world, is also my internal energy. Ingredients, namely earth, water, fire, air, sky, as well as the conception identity, intelligence, and the mind are produced of the living action of the above grows in subtle ingredients, as set up by eternal time as an offshoot of internal potency, with freedom to remain either in the material world or in the spiritual. So we have the freedom to remain either in the internal potency or external potency. In the material world, the living entity is enticed by deluding essence. But in the spiritual world, he is in the normal condition of spiritual existence without any delusion. So here we are bewildered, we are deluded, we are illusioned. But in spiritual world, there is no illusion of Maya. The living entity is known as the marginal potency of the Lord, but in all circumstances, neither the material ingredients nor the spiritual parts and parcels are independent of the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. For all things, whether products of the external, internal, or marginal potencies of the Lord, are simply displays of the same effulgence of the Lord, just as light, heat, and smoke are displays of fire. None of them are separate from the fire. All of them combine together to be called fire. Similarly, all phenomenal manifestations, as well as the effulgence of the body of Vasudeva, are his impersonal features, whereas he eternally exists in his transcendental form called Satchidananda Vigraha. So Prabhupada is saying this Maya is external energy, Yoga Maya is his internal energy, and the Jivas are his Tatastha Shakti. But everything comes from Krishna. We are not independent of Krishna. So we are simply displays of the same effulgence of the Lord. It's all comes from Brahm Jyoti. Of course, not the Jivas, but from his internal energy, everything is appeared, everything is manifested. It's just different ways, different natures, different mood. External energy has different nature. Of course, it is all part of internal energy, part of his Yoga Maya. And similarly, the Jivas are part of his. So everything comes from him. There's nothing separate, nothing independent of Krishna. But once he makes this creation, then it becomes so complicated, so complex that we forget Krishna because this is our desire. And then we want to enjoy this material world. We think we are the controllers of this material world. We are the enjoyers of this material world. We are the proprietors of this material energy. And then we get more and more entangled by our karmas. And then we stay here perpetually. And then Krishna comes, Krishna sends his devotees, Krishna sends the scriptures to take us back. And the whole wheel of activity, actions, and reactions is set into motion. And this is for what? Just so that the creation goes on. The samsara goes on. If you look at it, I mean, it is so complex, so complicated. The whole, even the material creation is so complex. But in the end, it's nothing. It's all his Maya energy. That's it. It's all Maya. But look at our lives. We have made it so complicated. Oh, he said that, and she said that, and my mother-in-law said that, my father-in-law, my daughter-in-law said that, and then there's a problem. There are so many issues. It's all like Brahmaji said, it's all nonsense. It does not make sense at all because none of these exist actually. There's no value whatsoever. But when we are dealing with people of the material world, we all get so much bewildered, so much deluded and all this. We forget Krishna. Just remember all these situations and the relations and the conditions. And that's how we just remain, we just stuck here. And we remain towards the backside of Krishna. Anyway, I'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I had one question. You said after, this is like 2-3 class back, I was thinking, when after Bhagavatam was spoken by Sukhdev Goswami, he left. So, did he just get liberated or what happened like after that?
I have to find out.
Oh, okay.
He was already liberated, but I don't know what did he do after he spoke Bhagavatam. Any other question or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, do we have the Ekadashi Prasadam today or is it normal grain Prasadam, Prabhuji? Little confusion.
Actually, Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu himself. So for Vishnu Tattva, one of their appearance, so we do have Ekadashi. We should take Ekadashi. But some temples, they follow grain Prasadam. I think Noida and Vrindavan, they follow grain Prasadam, and Delhi temple follows Ekadashi. So anyway, it's okay, just have Ekadashi Prasadam. It's not a problem.
Thank you for clarifying, Prabhuji.
I mean, one day Ekadashi Prasadam is not going to hurt you, and it's okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Or whatever is convenient for Mataji to prepare. It's okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
You're welcome. Because ultimately, it's not what kind of prasadam we eat, it's how much we remember about Advaita Acharya and his contribution and how we glorify him. That will help us make progress.
Absolutely, Prabhuji.
So whatever Mataji prepares, that's fine. Just have it and chant and be happy.
Yes, Prabhuji. She only told me about Ekadashi Prasadam, so I thought let me check with Prabhuji.
I mean, technically yes, but practically you have to see.
Will adhere to your instructions, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for clarifying. And Prabhuji, I had been to Tota Gopinath. Fortunately, in fact, I had this good luck. So maybe sometimes, if you have time, please and kindly speak a little more about Tota Gopinath so that we all can be enlightened.
Sure. Whenever the chance comes.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri